Looking at the attention getter, this will be the first thing that the reader reads when they start reading your essay. So it's really important that your attention getter gets the attention of the reader so that they continue reading throughout the rest of the essay. An attention getter is also referred to as a significant statement. So our first there are some examples here. I'm looking in the English 9 packet of Enlightenment on page 14. So the first example uses statistic. 92% of all households in the United States have at least one television. That's interesting. That makes me want to continue on reading. Make sure that when you use a statistic and you get it from somewhere that you cite the evidence so you're not plagiarizing and saying that you came up with it. Mention the importance of the topic. It is hard to open a magazine these days without finding an article about television. That's saying television is pretty important. Make sure that you're not using everyone, the word everyone, in this section. Okay? Give a brief history. Since the golden age of television in the 1950s, television has undergone many important changes. Oh, okay, that's telling us in this history from the 1950s to now, there's been quite a few changes, okay? Please make sure that you don't use since the beginning of time, because the beginning of time, there was no form, everything was null and void, so you can't really say that when you're using history. Tell us what part in history are we looking at, what time. Use a relevant quotation. Marshall McLuhan's belief that the medium is the message is as relevant today as ever. Okay, really important when you use a quotation that you're telling us who said it. Negate the opposition. Some people think that there is too much sex and violence on television. However, they do not realize that most of the programs on television have a lot to offer. Okay, so it's saying here's one person's position, and here's what I think about it. Okay, so the reader's going to say, okay, so what is this person going to tell me about these programs on television that have a lot to offer? Then on page 15, we have some more examples. We have a student example and we have a professional example, just so you can see what the two look like. Both of them are good. Both of them will work. Anecdote, it is 2 a.m. and in the silence of the night, a thick, slick-bodied snake slithers through the bush with 3 sharp horns on its snout. This is the rhinoceros viper. Okay, so that description really makes you, ooh, that's interesting. I want to continue reading. An interesting fact, smoking in teens may be slowly declining, but the use of tobacco is higher than ever. Okay. Interesting observation. According to most high school students, Japan is full of video games, ninjas, and short people. Yet a trip there might tweak their thinking a bit. Okay, so maybe this person might have interviewed a few people and that's what they had to say. Startling statement. There are an estimated 50 million dogs in the United States. That's approximately 1 dog for every 2 families in the country. Now, this is different from a fact because it's startling. Like, wow, there's really that many dogs? Like, every family has 2 dogs? That's a wow statement, hence the startling portion of it. And then a quotation. I stayed. I even went back after he beat me, which was wrong. That's what 22-year-old Rihanna told ABC News in an interview after her boyfriend Chris Brown beat her. Okay, so notice with the quotation, it's telling who said it. Okay, giving some information about it right after for the attention getter. So you may have noticed that there are no question examples here. We do not allow questions for the attention getter because we know you guys are really good at that. So we want you to try one of these other examples for the attention getter. And also remember that attention getter is not the thesis. This is the thing that is right at the beginning of the introduction paragraph. Your thesis goes right after that, which I will talk about in another video.